Channel 347, LeFou, your hallucinating nationwide state of nations. Coming to you live from Thames. So, like, I'm gonna do. If we get carried away, I'm just gonna do my little cult intro. And all I really wanted to say was, um, all the news today comes from has a history, and to really get understand that history, you've got to understand the politics is the puppet of the puppeteer of the is it the puppeteers? It's the companies that set the whole system up back at the turn of the last century mostly, and so you had people like Mr. Ford, and you had people like the Rothschilds who paid for Russia to have a revolution. Now, ever since then, there's been the West and the East and Russia. So, like, please, the wall came down, but nothing changed because there's always something in the paper about Russia and the West, and they're always trying to have a go at each other. This is like incredibly predictable, and it's based on the fact that that's how the whole system was set up: divide and rule, and it's a kind of hidden agenda, right? Which you can't get your fucking heads around. If we start understanding why people are still talking about, because it's frozen in landscapes that you wouldn't fucking believe, 100 years of the same fucking thing. Of the West having to go at the East, and the East having to go at the West, and Russia having to go at. No, it's like, it's the West because you've got to look at England and how it was England that was. Well, it wasn't England as such, it was the corporations that set the whole thing up. So you've got the banks, and then you've got who owns the banks. And who owns the banks? Well, take a fucking look at the book, will you? Because it's the Rothschilds who own all the banks, most of all the banks, and they do all the lending to everybody, no matter whose side you're on. And it was, pretty convenient, right, to set up a country called Russia that had a revolution that put a communist um, leader in, and ever since, and then the wall came down, but the wall came down and made no fucking difference because I don't know if you noticed the papers recently, but they're still having to go at Russia. But this is like a game. It's just a game, and it's like, when are people going to wake up to the game? Is they don't really go one fuck what you do or think about infiltration between different countries. They're just watching and they're laughing. And they're laughing at those people who pick up on the news and go, oh, look, it's like they've got things to answer for because, um, there's questions unanswered. But, there's been questions unanswered for 100 years. And it's like, please get a hold of your history, because your history is laced with 1,000 years of ice, which is like it's I don't know why people can't get their heads around it. It's pretty simple. It's like, it's not going to do politics. Politics is a game, and they just put someone else in, and the story continues. We've had Brexit for 5 fucking 100 years. We've had Corona, which is like, and then Corona has been separated between the East and West as well. And it's like, they're all trying to make fucking money off it. And that's what they do. They make money off people's stupidity. And it's like, when are you going to get a grip of the fact that The Rothschild, Mr. Rothschild, I can't remember his name. A few years ago, he said, "If my sons wanted no war, there would be no war." He's absolutely right because it's not them actually that are creating the problem. It's you. Everybody creates the problem, but they create it for you to have a problem over it. But it's not a problem. It's just that you're creating a problem, and um, they're the masters. They're the black magicians. You can't understand this. It's like these families are. If you don't know who set up Russia back at the 1918 revolution, it was Ford, Mr. Ford, and the Rockefellers. They put money into Russia to develop a revolution to push the petrochemical industry. And what have we had? We've had a petrochemical industry for over 100 years. And it's like, what did they kill on the way? They killed Mr. Tesla, who had free energy for everybody. It's like it's written down. Why aren't people talking about this? I don't know. They're picking up on the news every fucking day, and it's like when you get over how boring it is because it's been going on for 100 years, no change. When you get over that, maybe we kind of like focus in on the right places because they don't give one fuck. It's like Washington, London, and Rome. These are the centres, right? When you get a problem with your bank, where does it go? Eventually it goes to the ombudsman. Well, where's the ombudsman? The ombudsman is the City of London. And the City of London isn't England. It's a separate state owned by the Crown. Crown? Yeah. And they make their own rules up. It's like the law is different in the city than it is anywhere else. So, when you get 1,000 court cases that say, oh, look, this needs reviewing, the review is a profit. So what eventually ends up in the royal courts, right, in the City of London. Well, the City of London's a different jurisdiction. It's separated from England. It's nothing to do with England. It's the Crown. And the Crown is related to the Vatican. No, people have got to get fucking heads around this shit. That's long enough for me tonight. So, look, listen, a little introduction. It's a cult. It's that which can't be seen. It's never going to be mentioned in the mainstream press because, but 6 companies control all the media. So it only means 1 or 2 people are actually controlling the information that comes out of it. And then when I mention the fact that behind it all is a Vatican that's been going since 2,000 years, they're going to mention that. Unless people wake up to it. It's a bit of a ramble. It's called a cult. It's meant to be that you gotta look at what's hidden, what they're never going to tell you in the mainstream because they want you to pick up on other things. And there are some news programs that are better than others. RT is better than the BBC, and UK Column is better than all of those two, but they're still not looking at the history. They're really not looking at the real history, and because it was never taught for a reason. Get fucking really twats.